Alright guys, a little different style video today, as I'm sure you can see from the thumbnail. But I'm going to be going through a step-by-step training as to how I helped my client Brody lose roughly 18 pounds in 90 days using the enhanced blueprint system. And I promise you, if you have the smallest bit of interest in this video, stick around to the end, take some notes, break it up into parts if you have to. I know it's going to be a little bit long, but I am going to be giving away some life-changing information for a lot of you. And it's information that changed not only my life, but my client's life. So stick around. Hopefully this helps and you get some sort of value out of it. And yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so this is going to be about a 25-ish slide presentation about my whole system, but mainly Brody's step-by-step training of how he lost roughly 18 pounds in 90 days using my system. So this is the system he used. A 15 to 20 pound guarantee, getting lean and staying lean forever. So an education style system, but focused on weight loss specifically for busy people. The 90-day time frame, and this is the enhanced blueprint system that we're going to go through. But this focuses on freedom, I think, due to family time, sacrificing weekends, and cheat meals, none of which you will have to give up in these 90 days. So, and we refund you in full if it doesn't work. But anyways, let's get into Brody's before and after. So these are 3 client transformations, all within 90 days using the system, all roughly 20 pounds. Brody's was 18, but he is a higher level individual. So when you're more advanced, it's harder to lose weight. But let's get into his before and after. So yeah, here he came to me day one, 196.8 pounds. And then after the enhanced blueprint system running both phases, he checked in at 179.4, roughly an 18 pound weight loss transformation. So huge difference, muscle definition, veins in the shoulder. There were other pictures of him too. You guys may have seen on my page. Veins all over his shoulder and his bicep and his chest. And completely different look to him. So here's another one of my clients, Jared's before and after. There was a back picture here. I'm not sure why it didn't show up. But yeah, he lost about 22, 23 pounds. He's still with me and down about 40 right now. Actually just shy of 38. So on track for 40 nonetheless. And here's my transformation with this system that I fine-tuned and implemented. So I lost roughly 20 pounds in 90 days with this system. And who's this system not for? So if you want to lose 15 to 20 pounds without ending up skinny, taking your shirt off and finally feeling confident, this is definitely for you. If you've tried everything and still don't recognize yourself in the mirror, this is definitely for you. You're overwhelmed by conflicting fitness advice, all the garbage on TikTok. Yes, this is definitely for you. You're done with restrictive cookie cutter programs. You've tried keto and paleo and ran through it all and you're still in the same spot. This is definitely for you. Who is this not for? So yeah, this is not for everybody, that's for sure. If you feel like one of these is you, definitely click off and go watch TikTok. I don't know. But yeah, unwilling to change. You're going to keep doing your same outdated routines that have gotten you where you are now. Not for you. You're unwilling to dedicate 4 hours a week towards changing your entire life and your loved ones' lives. This is not for you. You're chasing a quick fix. Keto, crash diet, zero carb, GLPs. This is not for you. And you refuse to fully commit and you constantly doubt yourself. You question everything and you're like, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. This is not for you. Here's a little truth about getting shredded is you absolutely can get shredded without giving up cheat meals, missing family time, or sacrificing every single party and weekend. And you can absolutely do all that while keeping it forever. Most men simply fail all that because they don't fundamentally understand how to properly train effectively, eat effectively, and integrate both of those parts into their lifestyle forever. So the biggest limiting belief you need to protect yourself from is, I don't have the time. This system gives you every single tool you'll need without affecting your daily productivity. All right, here's a little backstory. I wasn't always like this. I grew up overweight, followed the habits of most people around me like we all do. Going to the same parties, going to the same gatherings, family gatherings, what have you. And those habits eventually stick with you and start to catch up to you. And eventually I started hating the way I looked. I would bounce back and forth from 2 perfect weeks of training diet and then 2 unperfect months training diet. So burnout, yo, up 20 pounds, down 20 pounds, up 20 pounds, down 20 pounds, up 30 pounds is a textbook case of yo-yo dieting. And for years, it was always, it's genetics. I need more motivation. I don't have this. I don't have that. And you're comparing yourself to everybody else's outside situation. Till eventually I realized it was my entire approach and mindset that was the issue. You got to let go of those toxic fitness beliefs and just beliefs that you have ingrained in your soul almost, that have just been repeated and strengthened your whole life. You have to rebuild those from scratch. The real goal is never to overhaul your life and throw everything at yourself at once. It's really more about layering everything in slowly, one at a time, acclimating it, introducing it, acclimating it, getting used to it, and then sustaining it as we'll go through in this training. But yeah, a little background as to my cycle and as here I am and why I believe what I believe and why this is the system for 99% of people. So traditional approaches, keto, paleo, no carb, obsessive fasting, unsustainable meal plans like we went over. All those methods will work. Yeah, 100%. People lose weight on those methods all the time, but they rarely sustain the weight loss with those methods. Leads you right back into your old habits and often way worse for a lot of people. I know a lot of people have come to me much worse than they were last year or the year before. And it's a point where like, all right, I'm done. I've tried this, I've tried that, and I'm in a position where I'm just worse off than where I started. So, but yeah, to build around sustainability is the idea. Pick something that is designed to fit in your life. So the enhanced blueprint system isn't just this cookie cutter system, follow this, do that, bang, bob. No, it's a system that you go through, almost an educational course, if you will, that you apply these different pieces and parts into your day-to-day life, layering them in and then getting used to them day to day. So eventually the results will last forever because these habits and pieces that you'll be implementing and learning and layering in from the enhanced blueprint system will start to last forever. Thus, the results from the enhanced blueprint system will last forever is more or less the idea here. Here's just another overview of kind of the system and parts we're going to be going over. So it's composed of 2 main phases and 3 main parts. So you get introduction, acclimation, and your 3 main parts are training, nutrition, and supplementation, obviously. Pretty straightforward. Introduction, acclimation, it's in the word. So these are the 3 core training principles in pillar 1, which will be training, as we'll go over here. Intensity, form, exercise selection. So the most important driver of progress, obviously, is intensity. You want to force the body to adapt under a certain stimulus. The body doesn't think it needs it, it's not going to grow it. And the body's very good at maintaining and sustaining homeostasis. To put muscle on is not an easy task, and there has to be meaningful stimulus in order for that to happen. So, and to drive those home, we're going to use form and exercise selection. So every rep is placed exactly where it's supposed to be. Poor form simply means you're not moving the weight from A to B. So, poor form can be extrapolated and taken into a bunch of different contexts, as you see on TikTok, but everybody is different heighted, different bone structured, a little wider, wider clavicles, longer arms, that sort of thing. So form's gonna be different for everybody, but simply poor form means you're simply not moving the weight from point A to point B correctly for you, which essentially means you're not training the muscle effectively. So an example of that could be like a 6'4" person trying to bench press. Their just arms are wicked long. It's going to be extremely hard for them to put emphasis on the chest, and it's mostly going to be front delt or front front delt and tricep. But with that being said, you got to choose the exercises that match your body structure, goals, and physique development. Most men overcomplicate this. They pick a workout plan online and run with it. I've always been one that if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Let's talk about it, have a conversation, fix it, figure out how to target the correct muscle, and pick the correct exercise for you. So the 4 variables of intensity we want to focus on: weight, reps, rest period, and tension. The weight definitely should be challenging for you. You want to go to failure for the most part in almost everything. And by that, I mean, don't just pick the heaviest possible weight you can get. Pick a heavy weight you can get within the rep range of discomfort. So if it's 8 to 10 or if it's 6 to 8, pick a pick a weight that you think you can maybe get 6 reps with. That way you're forcing yourself into the 6, 7, and 8 mark, or 10 to 12 rep range. Pick a weight you think you can get 10 to 12 reps with. That way you're aiming within that rep range. Fine to go over it, but as long as you're within that rep range of 10 to 12 for failure is the goal. Rest periods, don't overcomplicate the rest periods. I think let the heart rate go down. Muscle feels ready to go again. Go again. Don't speed anything up. Don't be scrolling on TikTok and Instagram while you're sitting on the incline bench. You want to focus on tension as the last variable of intensity here. And due to, they call it time under tension, they always scream about. It's not less or more or less time under tension. It's just keeping tension on the directed muscle through the entire set. So all the way down, all the way up. Most people only contract the muscle on the way up and they miss the entire contraction on the eccentric. So focus on contracting on both. And all 4 of these variables are met with intensity, you will be in line for muscle density, more shape, and fat loss, to say the least. Yeah, the training structure that Brody followed here, like we talked about earlier, 4 hours is all you need. If you don't have 4 hours to spend in the gym, I don't know, click off of this and go knit, do some crochet. But yeah, the split Brody followed here is day 1, chest, shoulders, abs. Day 2, back, by, forearms. Day 3, rest. Day 4, legs, abs, calves. Day 5, arms, calves. Day 6 to 7, rest. So he's following 2 to 3 rest days per week, depending. A full arm day, a full leg day. Abs and calves are definitely highlighted throughout the program. I think people neglect calves, to say the least. So those are thrown in. Abs to stimulate and just for stability. We're looking for stability and something he can stick to. And this is what he was doing for the most part. 5-day-a-week training. We readjusted the days and the exercise selection. But for the most part, he was training 5 days a week. Most guys do not need 6, 7 days a week training. If anybody needs that, I'm not sure. So yeah, this is super intentional and this is focused on sustainability for him. So the introduction phase versus the acclimation phase, comparison on focus, volume, weight, large and small body parts. Small changes, we're going to start higher reps, higher volume on this side, lower weight, obviously. Controlling the tempo, focusing on mind-muscle connection. And then as you phase into the acclimation phase here, we're going to focus on tension, strength progression, and muscle density. This is where everything starts to really wrap up. So it'll be a lower volume approach, lower reps, obviously heavier. Same exercise selections, but we're going to go lower weight or lower reps, higher weight. So this will kind of hammer the muscle in, get everything firing and ready, flowing. And then as we move into the acclimation phase, this is where we really start to see progress as you execute throughout each stage. The cardio, Brody never exceeded 20, 30 minutes of cardio per day. He simply would do 1 10, 15-minute walk in the morning with his dog, low intensity, steady state walk. That's what that stands for. And then 1 15-minute walk post-workout, sometimes on the stair stepper. But seriously, he was really only doing 20 to 30 minutes of cardio 5 days a week, only on training days. So simple, sustainable, it's effective. And yeah, like key insight, I've always said 3 10-minute walks will always beat 1 30-minute miserable cardio session where you're wondering why you ever did this to yourself. Consistency always wins. Don't Don't kill yourself. No need to hammer yourself. And sustainability is the goal. Keep that in mind. Nutrition, pillar 2. So yeah, macros, meal selection, meal timing. Not crazy on macros, or calories, but we will go through it because Brody's macros were pretty dialed in and one of the main focuses of his physique change. Here's his full meal plan that we ran through the introduction phase. Slight changes into the acclimation phase, but not many. We'll go over those in a few. But meal 1 was eggs, egg whites, sourdough, fruit, greens. Simple. You could sub that for a protein shake too, even. But 4 grams of protein for every meal is what we were aiming for. Post-workout meal, obviously going to be the highest in carbs, and a quick, fast-digesting carb source post-workout. And that came from dry cereal. The pre-workout meal, we did turkey, rice, a little bit of nuts, and honey. The greens were sporadic. I give him the option for greens on pre-workout meals for sure. Just some people digest them better than others, but the almonds and the rice, honey, turkey, that was a staple for pre-workout every day. Hitting a good amount of carbs, keeping the fats low. And then the final meal was a red meat of some sort or a fatty fish, sweet potato, greens, pineapple to help digestion at night. And that really wrapped it up and gave him a glucose or a fructose source at the end of the day. That way he wasn't sugar binging at night, as some of us do. And yeah, this stayed steady pretty much throughout. He did have 2 pretty big cheat meals planned every week, and they were spread out. I allowed him to replace meal 4 or meal 5 with those strategic, we'll say, cheat meals. But it was just a meal out or a meal with friends or a pizza, or just once or twice a week, giving guys the flexibility and the freedom to go off plan. Something comes up, you get a lunch meeting, Christmas party, whatnot. It's always nice to have those 2 cards you can pull each week. And it gives you a little emotional balance, in my opinion. But sleep as well. He was sleeping probably honestly 3 to 4 hours a night due to his work schedule. So we fixed that around and got him sleeping about 8 to almost 9 hours every night. And his fat loss skyrocketed after that. That was one of the biggest improvements. And like I said, everything accelerated after that. Here's the 2 phases, the introduction phase, acclimation phase, and then lifetime maintenance. Like we talked about earlier, we're building structure, trying to improve digestion, consistency, establishing all the patterns, making sure cardio's not overdone, our habits aren't being overdone, nothing's rushed, everything's layered in slowly, our mindset's in a good spot. And then through consultation and talking back and forth throughout a month, 2 months, we jump into acclimation phase. That's where things start to really ramp up. Fat loss will accelerate. Muscle and fullness will really start to shine through, and your structure becomes part of your identity here, like I said. But this is when you really start to be the in shape person. Everybody will start to compliment and notice, and this is the very satisfying phase as both a coach and a client. So you're operating from momentum at this point. Everything's rolling, mindset's in a great spot. And then here we move on to the entire goal of this whole program, and that is to have a sustainable transformation and maintain it forever. Not just 12 weeks, not just for the summer, forever. And to be honest, Brody still follows the enhanced blueprint system to this day because it continues to compound on itself as habits stack and as you build progression and intensity into your lifestyle and day to day. And next thing you know, you're functioning and operating at a level and momentum at which you never saw possible. Yeah. And again, the system speaks for itself. I wouldn't make this full presentation and have all these testimonials if this system was bullshit, that's for sure. So from left to right, Brody, Jared, and this was my recent using this system. This system works. This is not a get shredded fast by any means, but this is a cleanup if you are already living the fit to fat or fat to fit lifestyle and trying to continue in that route. You've made some sort of progress on your own, or maybe you're still yo-yoing back and forth and have been your whole life. There's always, everybody enters this sport, I want to call it, but everybody enters their fitness journey at a different level. So don't compare yourself to anybody else, and this could very well work for you. So, and yeah, like I talked about before, this keeps compounding upon itself as well. You improve the basics, sleep, nutrition, your hormones and your energy start to improve. Thus, your training will improve, day to day productivity will improve, and your physique improves as a result of that, giving you more day to day confidence. And now you wonder, okay, what else can I improve? You improve X, Y, and Z more. Maybe you improve your diet more, your training more. And now, boom, everything's on the up and up. Better training, better execution, better reps in the gym leads to a better physique. Now you're feeling confident again. Starts the cycle over and over and over again, which allows you to stay lean, muscular, disciplined, and confident long after the initial sign up. So this is a great way to show the true power behind the enhanced blueprint system. So do you see yourself here, skinny fat, tired of looking soft no matter what you try, overweight and sick of constantly starting over every Monday, training hard, still not seeing the physique you know you're capable of, confused by conflicting information and frustrated, nothing seems sustainable, tired of hiding behind oversized t-shirts, avoiding pictures, and not feeling confident at the beach or pool? Deep down, you know you're capable of more. There's a stronger, leaner, and more disciplined version of yourself underneath all that inconsistency and confusion. All you need is the right structure. All right, here's a quick overview as to what you'll get inside the blueprint system. So, fully customized training, nutrition setup, macro adjustments, cardio implementation. Everything will be dialed around your specific lifestyle, body, physique goals, age, what have you. One-on-one ongoing coaching, weekly check-ins. I can make adjustments on the fly, 24/7 communication. You can call me in the middle of the night if anything goes wrong. I limit myself to a certain number of clients so I can keep that 24/7 communication line open. And then the guide throughout the entire process will simply be in trainer eyes for those of you that are familiar with that app. And everything will be structured and planned out for you within there. And as we go through this system, we will integrate everything in there based on your personal lifestyle. The lose to 15 to 20 pounds of body fat in less than 90 days is truly no joke. I do believe that this system will achieve that for you no matter the circumstance. Nobody wants a crash diet, live in the gym, or cut out your entire life. So this system allows you to lose 15 to 20 plus pounds of pure body fat in 90 days or less while keeping all that. And I do believe in this process so much that if this doesn't work for you in 90 days and you do everything within the plan, then you will receive your money back, or I'll coach you for free until you do. That's truly how much I believe in this system. So yeah, if you're finally ready to transform your physique and build a physique you're proud of, and stop guessing, stop restarting, stop yo-yoing, spinning your wheels online, listening to Instagram, and this system is definitely for you. It's a proven system I truly believe in, fully structured, and it's already transformed my own physique and life and multiple of my clients' physiques and lives. So very powerful. Worst case scenario, if it isn't a good fit, we'll get on a call and I'll leave you with clarity as to what your next step should be, point you in the right direction, and leave you with some value. So yeah, feel free to book a 30-minute call and we'll go through how the entire system works, any other questions you might have. And I hope this helps. Hope you get some info out of this. Hope this clarifies a little bit as to what I do and what I'm most certain I can do for you. All right, guys. So if you're sick and tired of being overweight, out of shape, anywhere where I was, anywhere where my client Brody was at, and you want to lose at least 15 to 20 pounds in 90 days or less and learn how to keep it all off forever, then definitely book a call in the description below and we can see if you'd be a good fit for the team. I know this video is a little bit off the cuff, kind of all over the place, so I hope you guys were able to follow along and get some sort of value out of this. I know this was valuable for me and Brody at least. So if you guys have any other questions or want to shoot me a DM on Instagram, I always answer DMs. I'd be happy to go over anything. But again, hope you guys got some value out of this. Appreciate you watching this far. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Peace.